What's up, you guys? How you doing? Well, I've been thinking way too much. I think, yeah, way too much. I would think in a way about just past homes that I used to live in. It's like I wish there was a way there was a VR that can actually go into old homes or previous homes that people used to live in and stuff. I'm pretty sure there is for like people that are trying to sell homes for VR, be virtual reality. But what I'm trying to say is, I just wish there was another way where you can able to walk through, not having to worry about getting a key to get into the door. I know that sounds a little bit weird. You think about it, but I just when you have so much memories of your past homes, it's like you just wish you could just re-see those houses again and again and again and again because you had good memories, good foundation of those memories of those homes. I had so many memories of every house I ever lived in. But the one that I used to live at, but it's probably super ghetto now, was probably the 575 Lane Drives in Sacramento, California. That place is like all fenced up and it looks so like very sketchy area. Very freaking sketchy. So I don't think I would ever think about going to that house or ever think about living there. So weird. It's like now when I was Google mapping of this one house that my dad lived out for 16 years. Before, so weird. And like before it wasn't there, but now it's back. Like, I don't understand that one. Why is the house, the mobile home that my dad actually had? I recognize the mobile home too. Oh, obviously, still has the algae all over the house and whatnot. It's still there. Like before, like a couple years ago, the house wasn't there, but now it's back. I'm like, huh? But it's not on sale. It's like, I know. No, it's just kind of sad to think about it, mostly. Now I live there way too many different addresses, but I think the one trailer on Cordova, Rancho Cordova, where my grandma my used to live in that one trailer, I don't think it's the same trailer. I think it's like a whole new trailer, dude. I think it's like a whole new trailer because when I saw the old trailer compared to that another trailer, they don't look the same, dude. They don't look the same. They're all different, but it's the same address, but different house. Has this house model or something. I don't know. Unless they renovated where it doesn't even look like the actual house or trailer. I mean, oh my goodness, so weird. It is wild to think about, but I know Sacramento, California is not safe, or as they say, not safe, but who's to say? I don't know. I just miss those houses. Like literally, I do miss living in those houses. Now, I was only a child, but I lived there off and on, like literally off and on, dude. I don't know, cause I lived at 3500 Astro Drive, Sacramento, California, Rancho Cordova, for 5 years. I lived about 5 years in that home address. Now I don't remember how long I lived in 575 Lane Drive, maybe 3 or 4 years. I don't know. I don't remember too much details. Only remember just pieces of it. I'm so weird. I know I'm very weird. But yeah, I just wish I could. I wish I wasn't so freaking limited. I mean, because I know a lot of people are able to go back to their hometown or home address. I usually was born and raised at. I can't do that. I'm kind of trapped. That's what they call Albuquerque, or the land of entrapment. That means once you're in Albuquerque, you're trapped in Albuquerque for life, or for good. You're trapped here for good. That's what happens when you're in Albuquerque. Once you're in Albuquerque, you're trapped. You can't budge to get out. It's like impossible mode. Yeah, to my stance, it is impossible mode. It's so wild. So anyway, I got myself a safe, by the way. It's a safe, dude. It's a safe. Yeah, pay almost $300 for that one. Say $200. Don't worry, I'm gonna deduct it on my federal income tax whenever it comes in. Yeah, it's a comedian, but hopefully it won't take too long. Yeah, just wild, bros. I just wish I could revisit my dad's old addresses that he ever lived at. I just wish I could. Because I had so much good memories. I had so much good memories. Those memories are worth cherishing for. Those are very good cherishing moments. I'm just brainstorming, thinking about the good times I lived in or lived at. Just remember when I was like 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, 13 years old, living in that one home. Great memories. Great memories. Wow. I had so much good memories. I just wish I could revisit those houses again. Because it was so good. Now, never lived in Georgia. I've only visited Georgia. But I have stayed in Georgia for almost 1 month, twice a year. Almost 1 month, twice a year. But that was vacation time too. That was vacation time. I actually spent a month in Georgia twice a year from 2000 to all the way to 2011. I take that back. It was a month from during that duration of time. It was from 2000 till 2004. Then after 2004, when I got that job on Air Force Base, and then it cut down to 2 weeks, and then 1 week. It was like 2 weeks for a little while. Yeah, it was 2 weeks for a little while. Yeah, it was 2 weeks, just for a little while. Until after 2010, sent it down to 1 week. Like, what? Yeah. Then I would do just 1 week vacations for every vacation that I ever took in the 2010s decade. Now I'm in the 2020s. Same difference as 2010s. 1 week vacations. Or less. Sometimes really less than 1 week. Because of time and money, stuff. I know, it's crazy. 2000s and 2010s was pretty good. 90s, nothing can compare to the 90s. Nothing can compare to any of that. That's why 90s will always remain A++ on the rating scale, or something. Yeah, everything about the 90s cannot be forgotten. Everything about the 90s was perfect. The colors, the smells, everything about the 90s was perfect. The smells was perfect. The colors was perfect. Everything around the parks were perfect. McDonald's, Burger King, everything was just grand finale great. It was like you could not betray those moments. Better food, less homeless, like no homeless people anywhere in the 90s. No, homeless people never existed in the 90s. Homeless people never existed in the 90s. That all changed. You know, when Democrats takes over. Democrats take over. Homeless people everywhere. That's what people vote for. We vote for Democrats because Democrats will make everyone go homeless eventually. Now I'm just overreacting, I think. But I think it does happen. Because the 90s, I never seen any homeless people. I don't think they ever existed. Not until after 2010s, 2020s. Then it blew up after that. Yeah, because Democrats ruled in Mexico for over 8 years so far. That's why there's a big explosion of homeless people now. Big explosion of homeless people because of Democrats. You're blaming Democrats? Okay. I'm just making accusations because I know everybody makes accusations about Trump anyway. Everyone does. I don't care what you are. Everyone likes to make accusations about him. But sometimes I just pretend that I believe in them. But sometimes I don't like to buy it. So weird how that goes. Dude, it's almost 80 degrees. Holy crap, like the warmest day ever. Holy frack. 80 degrees today. And it's winter. Wow. Can you imagine what summer's gonna be like? I'm gonna need a freaking swan cooler unit, and I need something for my window unit. A swan cooler, a mini swan cooler, or something that my brother actually has that is connected to the window, but it's on the floor as well. So that might be interesting to look at. Oh man. Yeah, I miss being in Sacramento, California. I do miss it, but I don't know if I should continue missing it because my brother says, "Oh, it's extremely dangerous to visit Sacramento, California. It's extremely dangerous." Right. It didn't look that dangerous when I visited Sacramento, California in that one year, 2023, I think. Man, it wasn't that dangerous. Was it 2023? Yeah, it was May 2023. I was there for like 2 days. It didn't feel dangerous because it took us an hour to find a homeless person. It took us an hour to find any homeless people or a homeless person in general. It took us an hour because how big the freaking city is. Sacramento is so huge, it took us an hour to find a single homeless person. That's how big Sacramento is. Okay? So it took us an hour to find a single homeless person. Even in Albuquerque, it'll probably take you 15 minutes to find a homeless person. Or less. 5 or 10 minutes, maybe. 5 or 10 minutes right away. Oh, homeless person. Oh, they're freaking everywhere. They're like flooding the whole city now. Yeah, I know, right? That's so weird. It's good to talk to you guys. I'm just bored. But I've been watching movies off and on. At least I got my safe. Now I need batteries for it. And I gotta figure out how to use it. Fun stuff. But thank you for listening. I know I'm talking too much. I just wish I could buy the freaking house that my dad ever owned. Sometimes I wish I could see that mobile home still there in Georgia. Because what? I don't know. I don't know if the Google Maps is accurate or not. Because one day, that mobile home wasn't there. Only what I saw, which is an RV. Just parked at my dad's lot. But now, it's back. I'm like, huh? Oh my gosh. I kind of feel like going back, but I don't know if I should. But for you to go to Georgia, you need a freaking car. That place is freaking remote. That place is freaking remote, dude. So you definitely need a car just to go there. Yeah, you're gonna need a car just to go to Georgia. Like, literally, no doubt. It's freaking remote. A remote country, just big country, dude. Big country. And it's kind of remote too, but yeah. Man, I wish I wasn't so limited sometimes. Because I just want to see my dad's homes. He had a lot of homes, and so did my grandparents. I don't think they had that many. Because my dad, not my dad, I say my grandma and grandpa, which is Oma and Opa, they actually did own Finance in the Farming Drive. That was actually my grandparents' actual home address. But I'm not sure when they actually got that. That trailer park at Rancho Cordova. I'm not sure when they moved there. Like, what the heck? But why is it just so good? The 90s. I love the 90s. The 90s you cannot forget about. You cannot ever forget about. It was like grand spank. I mean, it was. I can't stop thinking about the 90s, how perfect it was. That's why it's so A++. 100%. But by 2000, it's B-. 90s was A+. Okay, 80s was B-. Yeah, 80s was B-. Because I don't remember too much. I only did like 4 or 5 years or 6 years into the 80s, and then 90s are rated A+ because it was perfect. It was perfect. You can actually smell good things. You can actually smell better things. Everything about the 90s was perfect. The schools were perfect. The classrooms were perfect. The smell of school books was perfect. Everything about the 90s was perfect. The food was perfect. TV was perfect. Everything was perfect. On the 90s. Everything about the 90s was perfect. And then 2000 happened. Then it's rated B-. So it was good, but not perfect. But it was still good. 90s to 2000s was pretty much similar, perfect decades. And then you got 2010s. I had to rate that like C-. 2010s, I'll rate that C-. Yeah, because it wasn't Not all that great. Not solid enough to remember everything. But it was just heart wrenching moments. Heart wrenching moments. Just poor memories. Not good memories. That's why I C minus. Just a lot of bad memories. Oh man, tell me about it. Now 2020s. So far, I'm rating it D minus. D minus for the decade of 2020. D minus so far. But we have till 2029 to get the final results. 2029 to figure out the final results of 2020s. But most likely it might turn to F minus or F plus. But right now it's in the D's. Rate D. It's not improving. It's just declining of good memories and everything about the 90s. What am I thinking? But that's all I gotta say. Talk to you guys later. Bye.